Guided reading is a small instructional group method where you have 4 to 6 kids all reading the same book. This book is typically on the children's instructional reading level, thus making the book too challenging for children to read independently. The goal of guided reading is to provide students with the reading strategies they need, both decodable and comprehension, in order to tackle the words in the book and what the book truly means. This way they can use these strategies as they read on their own.
Put down that notepad. They're passing notes. You're supposed to be reading. This is your reading time.
They are reading. Sit over there and read that book, Tim.
Monica, sit down.
That's what I said. Sit down and read the book.
Oh, so this is how you do reading. Miss Jenkins, wake up. Stay with me. That's what we get for hiring new teachers. You're supposed to be in the middle of guided reading right now, Miss Jenkins.
That's right. The Lord is guiding them. Praise God. And they read it.
Public schools, Miss Jenkins. All right, so that's silly. I never taught you how to actually do guided reading. Okay, so let me just kind of give you some tips of how we do guided reading, okay?
Oh, Lord, here we go with the tips again. Okay, I'm listening.
Miss Jenkins, you have to be more enthused about making a difference in this room.
Okay, yes.
All right, so the first thing we need to do is make an area for guided reading. So that table over here, this will be your guided reading table. So we want to kind of bring the chairs out and we're going to make room for 4 to 6 students. All right, so I have your table set up right there. So you have the table. Now we're ready to post guided strategies. So these are the strategies that you're actually going to help your students do. So you're going to guide them on 2 strategies, decodable strategies and comprehension strategies. But since you're teaching the lower babies, we're going to post some decodable strategies, okay? So do you have some tape? There's some tape. I'll just tape these right here. Now, I suggest teaching kids 1 strategy at a time, but I'm going to post 4 of my favorite decodable reading strategies. Put all 9 decodable reading strategies in between each student. So as they read, they have a strategy right there in front of them that they can refer to. All right, so you have your area, you have your posting strategies. The next thing you're gonna need is a bell or a timer. Do you have one of those? Do you have a cell phone?
Yes, should I have a phone?
Oh, okay. So you're gonna set a 20-minute timer because you're gonna rotate the kids to your table in 20-minute time spans, okay? Okay, so that's the next tip. The next one, we need to put students in groups. So you should have, let's just look right here. They should have taken their test and here we go. All right, so here are all the kids' data. So you're gonna group the kids based on their instructional reading level so that they have kids that sit with you that are all reading at around the same place, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and do this. Okay, perfect. So now that you have your groups, we need to post them. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna write the kids' groups on this board. So our next tip, Ms. Jenkins, is to have a guided reading binder. And this binder has all kinds of things for you. You have some really cute I can tags that you can give kids as they master certain decodable reading strategies. Also in your guided reading binder, you have your anecdotal notes to write down exactly what strategies these kids are struggling with. You are ready to go. Awesome. So no more sleeping during guided reading time, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Kids, I will come back to see you guys doing some reading. And I'll actually show you how to do guided reading once you're actually at the table with the kids. So just make sure you set up the classroom for guided reading. So we can get them moving on along. I'll see you a little later. Thanks, Miss Jenkins.
Sit down.
Can you talk to Miss Jenkins about her wardrobe? The robe again? No, girl, I'll talk to her. But you need to talk to some of these other teachers because, whoa, they need that free reading ebook. You know, the one that the link is down below in the description. Yes, they need all the reading help they can get. So prepare to roll up your sleeves. We have a lot of professional development to do. All right, y'all. So here's our new book. Y'all start reading it, all right? Guided who? Alright, so you guys are gonna look through these pictures while I go use the restroom. Hey boo. Yeah, I'm at work. Oh no, I'm not doing nothing. The kids just reading their story. Oh yeah, I'll be there. What I need to wear? And I better not hear a word. I got ears in the back of my head. Great. Excuse me. Excuse me. Oh yeah, I bet. I know y'all not talking. Like I care. Y'all can keep talking. Yeah, girl. No, really, I want to know. Guided who? Alright. So where were we? Y'all read them pictures? You know what I mean. Did you look at the pictures? So what am I supposed to be doing right now? Guided. It's guided reading. Guided reading. Guided reading, you guys. All right, everybody just sit down. Sit down. All right, we clearly need some professional development. So today I'm gonna give you guys 5 things that you need to do with your children before you let them read their level text. So let's just sit down and get out our pens and pencils. We have a lot of work to do, people. A lot of work to do. Wait, did I miss something? Hey fun people, I'm Audra. As a curriculum specialist, today I'm going to give you 5 things that you need to do with your children before reading a level text. The first thing you can do with children before reading a level text is to activate background knowledge. I know, you might be saying, duh, but sometimes we really don't know how to activate background knowledge. You can activate background knowledge with children by asking questions that are related to the topics in the story. So for example, if you're going to read a story about horses, then prior to that book, ask children, have they ever seen a horse? What does a horse look like? What does a horse sound like? This brings me to the second thing you can do in order to activate background knowledge, which is give kids the experience they need in order to relate to the text. So that exact same example about the horse. If you have children that have never seen a horse, then show them a video of a horse. This gives kids the background knowledge and experience they need in order to relate to the characters in the book. How I do this all the time. The second thing you can do with children before reading a level text is to use the pictures in the book. Use the pictures in order to get kids to predict exactly what might happen in the story. My favorite is definitely called the picture walk. Now earlier I simply talked about giving a kid an experience such as watching a video of a horse, but you can even take this an entire step further. If you know that you're about to read If You Take a Mouse to the Movies, then you have to think, has every child actually been to the movies before? Do they know what a movie theater looks like? Can they actually relate to the plot in the story? And you don't have all of those answers answered, then give the kids the experience. So tip number 3 is hands-on experiences. So you can take your kids to a movie, give them popcorn, you can make your classroom into a movie theater, and then read the book. Or if you know you're about to read a book all about slime, then you know what you need to do. Simply put, give kids the experience that they lack. Do not assume that all kids can relate to the plots and the characters in the story. Did you hear that? That was good, huh? Girl, Now the next thing you want to do with children, no matter what age they are, is word work. You guys, even if you teach upper grades, your kids still need vocabulary. Woo! I don't know how many times I have walked in you all's classrooms and you guys did not have vocabulary building activities with the upper grades. It's word work. You want to build up the vocabulary that children need in order to read their level text. Oh, I know this. Yeah, I know this. I do this. So, prior to reading a story, go through that story and think about which words could potentially be unknown words to your student. Now, some resources make this really easy for you by giving you a vocabulary list that already has those vocabulary words. Now, with primary grades, sight words are a huge portion of text. So, your word work may look a lot like sight word fluency. It does not really take all that. Yes, Minnie, it does. Guided reading really does take all of this in order to do the best practices needed in order to get kids reading. Well, Minnie, yes, it does. Girl. Now, the last thing you can do before getting kids to read a level text is go over phonics. Yes, I know you're like, okay, phonics, reading a book, how do the two relate? This is really important when dealing with primary grades. There may be certain sounds that kids are really struggling with and they need that extra review because you know that they may see that sound in the text they're about to read. Ooh, I like that. Yep, I do that too. So prior to reading that story, you need to look through the book and go ahead and preview if there's any unknown sounds or sounds that you guys are already working on. They didn't do all that when I learned how to read. Now, some resources actually give you a phonics lesson, a quick 3 to 5 minute lesson now. And that is perfectly okay to do right before you read a level text. The important thing here is to make sure that the phonics lesson actually relates to the text that the kids are about to read. Great, thanks so much. I can't wait to implement these best practices in my small group instruction. Great, Miss Young. I'm so glad you found this very helpful. And I have something else that you're going to enjoy. Down below in the description, you will see a link to my reading ebook of how to prepare children for success with all 5 pillars of reading. Ooh, download that ebook. Hold up. Did I miss something? Make sure you download that free ebook down below. Make sure you get the ebook too. Maybe I should put that on my phone. Baby boy, I feel like I'm already developed. I'm ready. Now, I don't know why they don't ask me to just lead these meetings. Do I get any brownie points for being the first one here at the staff meeting? You get your paycheck. That's your brownie point. Okay. Now just come to my class if y'all want to see some good teaching. Alright, so welcome to yet another wonderful staff meeting. Now, I've already shared with you guys how to set up your classrooms from guided reading, and I also showed you exactly what to do with your children before reading a level text. So today we're going to discuss how to teach guided reading with 3 during reading strategies. This is while kids are actually reading their leveled book. So basically what we do while the kids are reading during small group instruction. Yes, that's what I just said. Hey fun people! As a curriculum specialist, I have seen so many teachers stop children during reading and start asking them all sorts of comprehension questions. Now, if you do that with your children, let me know down below in the comments that today is the last day you are going to do that. It is important to remember exactly what is the goal of guided reading. Hint, hint. Guided. Remember that the goal of guided reading is to simply equip children with reading strategies that they will need to implement when they're reading by themselves. So some of these reading strategies can either be decodable or comprehension strategies. See, in my class, I teach the decodable strategies to my EIP students, and I teach the comprehension strategies to my on and above level students. Now that's a great way to teach both, Miss Lucius. However, remember that there are some students that actually need both. Decodable strategies to tackle those difficult words and comprehension strategies in order to understand the meaning of the text. Yes, I do that too. I do that too. Of course you do, Miss Lucius.
It's Mrs. Lucius. Mrs. Lucius.
Excuse me, Mrs. Lucius. However, Mrs. Lucius, that is a great segue to our 3 things that you should be doing while kids are actually reading. I can't wait to implement these wonderful reading tips. Shoot, I just can't wait to go home. I got a date after this. So the first thing you want children to do is to whisper read. Old way of doing popcorn reading is out.
Throw it away.
What you want children to be doing while they're reading level text in the middle of guided reading is actually whisper reading. Unlike some of you guys right now in the staff meeting, I can hear you. I can hear you. Yeah, I'm talking. So while children are actually whisper reading their text, you will simply be going to each child and guiding them through how to use their different reading strategies. So if a child comes across an unknown word, you want to 1, teach them which strategy they need to use, and 2, show them how to use that strategy in order to decode that word.
Lots and lots of notes.
Now the second thing you want to be doing during guided reading is helping the kids with vocabulary. So you can do this by simply using a sticky note. Give every single child their own sticky note, and as they come across unknown words, they will simply write down the word and write down the page number in which they found that word, so that at the end you can go back over that sticky note and help them figure out the meaning of that word. Now if a child comes across an unknown word while you're listening to them, then you need to stop and help them go through their comprehension reading strategies in order to figure out the meaning of that word. So you can name this the unknown word sticky note list. That's a long name, you guys. Yeah, I know. I made it up. I'm running out of paper.
Like I said, y'all could just come to my class if you wanted to see all this.
She's too old for all that. Now the third thing you want to do while children are reading is to take anecdotal notes. This is how you get kids moving from level to level. Is you're paying attention, helping them use their strategies, guiding them along their way in order for them to learn how to do these strategies independently so that they can continue to move up. So what you will do is be taking anecdotal notes. Which strategies are they actually struggling with implementing? Which words are they actually struggling with saying? And then what you'll start to realize is there will be a pattern. You'll start to see, this child actually misses every CVC word. Thus, this becoming a horrible reading habit. So now you'll know the reading habit that you actually need to target in order to get that child to the next level. Write down all the student mistakes you see.
Miss McNair, where can we find the decodable reading strategies?
Great question, Miss Young. Down below in the description, you will see a link to my decodable reading strategies. You can download the decodable reading strategies, the I can reading strategies that go hand in hand. You'll also be given some brag tags that go right along with these reading strategies. So as kids start to master these strategies, they can go ahead and brag to their friends and family. You'll even be given a data tracking sheet. This way, you can keep up with all your students in exactly which reading strategies they're starting to master.
I'm grabbing my reading strategies right now, Miss McNair.
So you guys, that link is down below in the description, so make sure that you grab your decodable reading strategies because we have a lot of work to do. And again,
Excuse me.
I can't wait to part 4 of this reading series on guided reading.
I can't wait to part 4. Girl, please.
Good morning. Today marks yet another day of professional development.
Ooh, let me get my notepad out.
With guided reading.
Oh, part 1 was on how to set up our classroom for guided reading.
Part 2 was on what do we do before kids read their level text and guided reading. Part 3 was 3 tips on what we do while students are reading and guided reading.
Great.
Now today I'll be giving you guys 5 things that you need to do after reading a level 12.
Now, how many times she gonna wear that red blazer?
Right? I feel like all she does is change her shirt. Hey fun people, welcome back to Everything Algebra. As a curriculum specialist, today I'm going to be giving you guys professional development on what do you do with children after they've read that instructional book during guided reading. So sit back, relax, and let's go over 5 things that you should be doing with your children.
Now don't you just say boys and girls. What did we just read about?
Miss Lucius.
Mrs. Lucius. Mrs. Lucius.
I'm sorry. Mrs. Lucius. There's so much more than that.
So much more? Shoot, I'll be retired in 3 years. I don't need to learn no more.
Now, previously we talked about getting a sticky note that kids would write unknown vocabulary words on. So the first thing you want to do after kids read the book is to revisit the sticky note. Have kids share exactly what the unknown word was, how it was used in the text, there goes context clues, and try to see if they can break down the meaning of that word now that they get to share it out loud with you and their classmates. The second thing you want to do with kids after they've read their instructional book and guided reading is to give them praise. Praise them for the words and the strategies they use during guided reading. So if you saw little Tommy use his Lucy lips very well, then you're gonna say, I love when Tommy used his Lucy lips as he got his mouth ready to say a difficult word. So this is also how you build up reading stamina and confidence with reading, especially with dealing with struggling readers. Now it's important that the praise that you give kids is strictly centered around the reading strategies they were able to implement during guided reading. This is why your anecdotal notes are so important. Not only do the anecdotal notes help you, but it also provides you the opportunity to get children excited about using the reading strategies independently. You guys all know how kids work. When one person receives praise about something, then all the other kids will want to do that too, so that they also can receive praise with that same exact thing. In addition to praise, you must give, number 3, feedback to all the students in the reading group. And you might be wondering, okay, so what is the difference between praise and feedback? With feedback, this is your time to address any concerns regarding the entire group. So did you notice that all the kids in your small group all missed the exact same word? Do you realize that all the kids in your group struggle with comprehending the exact same main idea? This now can become your teachable moment for all the kids in your small group. I see this all the time going into you all's classrooms. You guys want to stop a child in the middle of reading, tell the entire group what they need to be doing, but you don't even know if the entire group is struggling with the same thing. So you just made Cindy over here stop reading her book. That is not what we need to be doing. The proper time to have a teachable moment would be in the feedback portion after the kids are finished reading their books for the day. Now the next thing is the thing that you guys all want to do, and that is you want to provide comprehension questions. So now is your time to ask your small group of students comprehension questions for them all to answer. This is your time to get all the kids responding to the different characters, responding to the plot, asking main idea questions. This is your time to see if they all comprehended the text. The next thing you want to do with children after they've read the story is to propel them forward to whatever activity you have them doing coming up next. So of course, when we're doing small group instruction, our kids are in learning centers. One of your centers should directly relate to what they just did in their small group. So now is your time to get them excited and ready for whatever they're about to do over there in the corner independently.
Miss McNair, do you have something that I could read to learn more about how to teach my kids with reading?
Of course, you know it. Down below in the description, I have the link to my reading ebook of how to prepare children for success in all 5 pillars of reading. So make sure you download your own copy down below in the description. I also have the link in the comment too.
I think it's great you wrote an ebook. I can't wait to download mine. You don't have to suck up all the time.
And now it's time for me to hear from you. Comment below exactly which one of these strategies are you going to implement in your classroom. I can't wait to hear your feedback. See what I did there? We should
should get her some more clothes.
You now have an entire ebook all about how to easily teach reading. You also have been given tips and strategies on how to set up your classroom for guided reading, what to do before guided reading, what to do during guided reading, and what to do after guided reading. I've talked all about these effective guided reading strategies. However, if you don't know how to actually teach and use these strategies, then your guided reading won't be as successful. So you need to watch this video right now so that you can learn how to actually teach all 9 of these strategies.